What's up, guys? It's another day for a video, and it happens to be one of my absolute favorites, which is of course our book of the month. As you guys know, I really love the subscription service. Now I have no relationship with them. I don't have any kind of partnership or anything like that. I truly just rave about them because I love what they represent, what they do. So in case you don't know, book of the month is basically a subscription box where you can find the latest new authors, new debut authors, all of the recent releases that are coming out, and it's a curated collection of at least 6 titles per month that you can select from. Book of the Month has tons of different discounts that they do throughout the year, and I'm sure if you guys follow any other booktubers here, they probably have their own codes for you, but a lot of times you can get your first book for $5.99 or even less, and then any add-ons that you do typically are about $10. So you are getting brand new hardcover books at a very reasonable discounted price. I also love the fact that the spines are all uniform, the sizes of the books are all uniform, and they all have the little Book of the Month logo. So if you are like me and you like your aesthetic appeal as well, these books stack very beautifully together. The other nice thing is they select from all different versions and genres. So they have nonfiction, memoirs, they have educational books should you want something like that. Now those are rare and fewer, but they do exist. They also have historical fiction, classic romance, contemporary fiction, murder, thrillers. That's what I was trying to say, not murders, thrillers. A ton of thriller options. They have so many different novels and selections that you can pick from. You also have access to a catalog of all of their older book selections as well. So should you ever want to read one of those books, it's also available to you. So that's a lovely aspect as well. And there's usually an additional section every month where it's the upcoming releases that may not have made the cut for the actual 6 or 7 books that they've selected for the month for your book of the month choice, but you can also add those on if you want. So for example, for this upcoming month, a fan favorite author, Ali Hazelwood, is actually releasing her next STEM romance this month, and it is releasing soon. So while that book was not a choice for book of the month, it was one of the options that you could have selected from their additional select titles of new authors and books that are coming out this month, which might not have quite made the cut, but they still have those options. Book of the Month is also very easy to use because as soon as you log in on your computer or on your phone through the app, however you want to do it, the selections are right there for you. Their search bar is very easy to use as well, whether it's for title, author, or genre. You should be able to find what you're looking for. And most recently, they've also added audibles to their selection as well. So should you ever want to do an audiobook instead of a physical copy of the book, you can absolutely do that, and the app will store the book for you, so you can listen to that as well. Please don't mind Bella's caterwauling in the background. I don't actually know what she wants. Probably food. She's a very food motivated cat, which is probably why she's my cat, but there we go. So as always, I get very excited when this box comes in once a month. This particular month, I went a little crazy. I did end up getting 5 different books. Every single book of the month selection, now I've already opened this, so I will be 100% honest, comes with a bookmark. Now, because I've already opened this, I don't know where I put my bookmark, but every bookmark has a little quote on it, and it's just really fun book-related quotes that can be funny, silly, or just, plain bookish vibes. So I really love their little bookmarks, and they're perfect for all the books that they send. So without further ado, let's see what I picked this month. So the thriller for this month was A Talent for Murder, and I was very excited when I saw this. This book is by Peter Swanson, who I do believe is a repeat author on their selections. And I'll read the inside to you guys. A newlywed librarian begins to suspect the man she married is a murderer in this spectacularly twisty and deviously clever novel by best-selling author Peter Swanson. Martha Ratcliffe conceded long ago that she'd likely spend her life alone. She was fine with it, happy with her solo existence, stimulated by her work as a librarian in Maine. But then she met Alan, a charming and sweet-natured salesman whose job took him on the road for half the year. When he asked her to marry him, she said yes, even though he still felt a little bit like a stranger. A year in, and the marriage was good, except for the strange blood streak on the back of one of his shirts he'd worn to a conference in Denver. Her curiosity turning to suspicion Martha investigates the cities Alan visited over the past year and uncovers a disturbing pattern: 5 unsolved cases of murdered women. Is she married to a serial killer, or could it merely be a coincidence? Unsure what to think, Martha contacts an old friend from graduate school for advice. Lily Kittner once helped Martha out of a jam with an abusive boyfriend and may have some insights. Intrigued, Lily offers to meet Alan to find out what kind of man he really is. But what Lily uncovers is more perplexing and wicked than they ever could have expected. So I'm really excited to read this little murder mystery twist. I think it'll be really fun to see the sleuthing of these 2 best friends as they try to figure out who Alan is and whether or not he is the serial killer that they suspect he might be. So that was the first book that I picked from the thriller collection. I also don't usually read contemporary fiction, but this month's contemporary fiction spoke to me a lot, and that book was Honey. I also love the fact that it has the beautiful CDs on the cover as well. So again, let's read this one. An addictive coming-of-age story that follows the meteoric rise of pop star Amber Young as she navigates fame and self-discovery in the late 90s and early 2000s. I'm not going to read the whole cover for this, but that's basically the vibe. You're following the story of a pop star as she's going through the motions of her career and navigating her fame. For me, this seemed very similar to a lot of Taylor Jenkins Reid books, like when she's talking about when she's talking about Daisy Jones and the Six. Yes, Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm so sorry. I just had to make sure I was saying that title correctly. Or The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, like that world, that idea of, navigating this life while you're in fame and stardom, as well as the craziness that brings with it. I really like that environment, that world. And so I was super excited to read this book. So I will definitely come back to you guys with my thoughts on this book after I've read it. But that was my second selection from the list of books this month. Then we had the much-awaited Catherine Center new book, The Rom-Commers. I was so excited that this book was on the selection list. I have been waiting for this book to release. I've really liked a lot of Catherine Center's newer books. I haven't really talked about them too much on this channel. She has so many books that she's published that I actually plan on doing a video specifically dedicated to Catherine Center and her books, her old books as well as her newer books. So stay tuned for that as well. I do plan on doing that at some point. Probably in July. I don't think I can get through all the books this month, but I am planning on starting to tackle the books stack. But this is the latest book that she did. So again, the inside cover. She's rewriting his love story, but can she rewrite her own? Emma Wheeler desperately longs to be a screenwriter. She spent her life studying, obsessing over, and writing romantic comedies. Good ones that win contests. But she's also been the sole caregiver for her kind-hearted dad who needs full-time help. Now when she gets a chance to rewrite a script for famous screenwriter Charlie Yates, the Charlie Yates, her personal writing god, it's a break too big to pass up. Emma's younger sister steps in for dad duty, and Emma moves to LA for 6 weeks for the writing gig of a lifetime. But what is it they say? Don't meet your heroes? Charlie Yates doesn't want to write with anyone, much less a failed nobody screenwriter. Worse, the romantic comedy he's written is so terrible it might actually bring on the apocalypse. Plus, he doesn't even care about the script. It's just a means to get to a different one, green lit. Oh, and he thinks love is an emotional Ponzi scheme. But Emma's not going down without a fight. She will stand up for herself and for rom-coms and for love itself. She will convince Charlie that love stories matter, even if she has to kiss him senseless to do it. But what if that kiss is accidentally amazing? What if real life turns out to be so much more real than fiction? What if love story they're writing breaks all of Emma's rules and comes true? So I'm really excited to see where this book takes us. I really like the fact that the 1 or 2 Catherine Center books that I've read really develop the characters. They really build a storyline. And so it's very enjoyable to watch the characters and understand their romantic involvement and their stories just because they're so fleshed out and you really get to see the characters. I would say Catherine Center, Abby Jimenez, and Emily Henry are some of the few authors in rom-coms that truly do this, where they really, really develop both sets of characters and you kind of get to see where the chemistry comes from and it's not purely physical. So I do enjoy that. So I'm kind of excited to see this sunshine grumpy trope in all of its glory and see what Catherine Center will deliver for us this time. Then we have the 1-star romance. Now, this is also one of the selections from Book of the Month's selections this month, and I was just like too excited to not read this. By the way, this book was not, if I remember correctly, part of the actual monthly selections. This was actually one of the additional side-along books that you could select from, which are new releases that are coming up, but did not quite make the cut for the 6 books that are being debuted as options on Book of the Month. So again, that example that you can find other books on their channel, on their website, even if you are not interested in the selections for that month. Coming back to June's selection. So this one, of course, is their romance for this month. A struggling writer is forced to walk down the aisle at her best friend's wedding with the man who gave her book a very public 1-star rating in this fresh romantic comedy. So again, not going to read the entire front cover page of this one, but it does sound like it's just going to be so much fun. I like the idea of them having to interact and kind of her figuring out why he rated her book so low and just their journey together. So super excited to read this one as well. And just love this cover. Like, I love this color combo. So whoever designed the cover, props to them on this one. And then last but not least, this was also, I believe, not a part of the classic selection of 5 to 6 books on the channel. This was an additional book. Now, as you guys might know, Bryn Weaver had released a book, I want to say a year to a year and a half ago, Butcher and Blackbird, which was basically dark romance following a serial killer couple. So this is the continuation of that series, and it's part of the Ruinous Love trilogy. The 3rd book has not yet released, but here we go. The latest in the best-selling Ruinous Love trilogy, an enemies to lovers dark romantic comedy packed with danger, chaos, and heat. After contract killer Lachlan Kane botches a job for his boss's biggest client, he knows he'll never claw his way out of the underworld. At least not until Songbird Lake Montage offers him a deal. Hunt down a killer and she'll secure his freedom. The catch, he has to marry her and they can't stand each other. Indie singer-songwriter Lark is the sunshine that burns through the darkness Lachlan Kane tries to hide behind. Lachlan might think Lark is just a privileged princess, but the truth is that she keeps plenty of secrets. With her formidable family in a tailspin and her best friend's happiness on the line, Lark's willing to make a vow to the man she's determined to hate, no matter how tempting the broody assassin might be. As Lachlan and Lark navigate the mission that binds them together, it becomes impossible to discern their fake marriage from a real one. But the restless ghosts left in their wake are only a few steps behind, ready to claim more than just their newfound love. There's another phantom lurking on their doorstep, and this one has come for blood. So again, dark romance. I know Butcher and Blackbird has some very intense scenes. It can be very graphic. There's also a lot of gore in that book. I also know that it was very spicy, like level 5. Now, I haven't actually read it personally yet. This is all based on the reviews that other people gave, but I do love the concept of it. And I have seen most people that read the other book truly enjoyed it. So I'm excited to read this and kind of see where it takes us. I haven't done too much dark romance in the past, but I also have a collector's mentality, unfortunately. So I did want the entire series now that I have the first book in the series. So I probably will collect all 3 books in the series. But from my understanding with both of these books, Leather and Lark, as well as in Butcher and Blackbird, you can skip the romantic scenes if they're too much for you. They don't actually add much value to the book itself. But very graphic, very entertaining, fast-paced, dark romance books. So I am very excited to tap into this as well. I will probably save this for October timeframe. I just feel like it's a fall vibe series. So I will be planning on reading those as well as getting through the rest of the Mindfuck series that day as well. Please pardon my language. That's literally the title of the book. So I am very much planning on jumping into these serial killer romances this October because it just seems like the right vibe, along with any other vampire, witchy, crazy, Halloween-y themed books that might come out that month. But I definitely am a mood reader and I'm very excited to jump into this when the time is right. So altogether, that put me at 5 books from Book of the Month this month, and I am very excited to read all of them. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will come at you with the next one soon. As always, if you like anything bookish, please do consider joining our family here. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content that's being released. I release videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Alrighty, talk to you soon. Bye, guys.